Hello everybody, welcome to the Wonky Angle, where I talk about electronic music, both new and old. And today I'm talking about the new collaboration album between Vince Clarke and Paul Hartnoll, 2Square. Now, I'm gonna have to start off this video and admit I don't actually know the work of Vince Clarke very well. In my review of Jean-Michel Jarre's Electronica 1 The Time Machine, I credited him as a member of Depeche Mode. However, looking into it a bit more, he seems like he was only in that band for about a year or so before breaking off and forming a different band called Erasure, which he is more well known for now. I have yet to look into the Erasure discography, but I at least like what I've heard through small iTunes previews. And also on top of that, Clarke's collaboration with Jean-Michel Jarre last year, the two-parter track Automatic, was one of my favorite tracks from that new Jarre project. So yeah, I like what I've heard from Vince Clarke, but I'd be lying if I said I was like an expert on the guy. But let's be honest, if you've known me for long enough and or can recognize the logo on my t-shirt here, you can probably figure out that I came here almost entirely because of Paul Hartnoll. I'm a huge Orbital fan, and I have been for years, and I'm excited to hear any new material from either Hartnoll brother. That being said, this was a little more of a side project than anything huge. Now, I reviewed Paul's 858 album from last year, and while I thought it was absolutely brilliant, I did think it was awfully short, and I wished he had added more to it. And this collaboration here had one track fewer than 858, and the longest track wasn't even 7 minutes long, meaning that this was even shorter. Hence the length of this video. But make no mistake, that does not make it any less worth checking out. Sure, it's not some super ambitious concept album, but honestly, I wasn't really expecting it to be. All I wanted out of this album was some good, fun dance music, and in that regard, Clarke and Hartnoll deliver in spades. 8 spot-on dance tracks, all with great melodies, adding up to one fantastic little 37-minute experience that had me uncontrollably bobbing my head all the way through. And it keeps getting better with each successive listen. It didn't really get me thinking very hard, but it was a lot of fun to listen to. They were definitely trying to do like a throwback to like the good old 90s ecstasy rave period, I think. With those same synth settings that characterized the rave era, along with silly lyrics that may or may not endorse drug use. Better have a drink to think. Do a bong. Would have been nice to have a song about dropping ecstasy just for the laughs. By the way, this track Do a Bong has some pretty neat horn sounds in it, which is definitely a nice touch. We also have the typical track with a female singer, All Out, but first of all, you can unlike a lot of Orbital songs, you can actually understand what she's saying. Can't believe it, can't believe it. Sounds like she's putting down some ex-boyfriend or something. Honestly though, I don't care much about the lyrics. I'm just getting too much into the propulsive beats. The more up-tempo tracks, like All Out, Zombie Blip, Better Ever Trained to Think, The Shortcut, are really tight and driving too. Also, a handful of tracks have kind of an atmospheric bend to them, such as The Echoes, Single Function, and Underwater, all which kind of supplement themselves with some spacier synths and warmer pads, with The Echoes adding in some other female vocals on top. One thing that's kind of weird though is that at the end of the album, after Underwater was done, I found myself humming the melody to Zed's Codec. If it weren't for that song's clearly more modern and abrasive synth tones, it wouldn't have been a bad fit on an album like this. Catchy melodies, emphasis on a talented producer flexing his skills, even the same tempo as all the other songs on here. I can't say I have a ton else to say about this album though. It's clearly not the kind of album that I feel like I'm supposed to be thinking really hard to enjoy. I mean, turning your brain on this album doesn't hurt the experience in any way. I mean, the attention to detail is very much there, as you would expect, but it's not really meant for that. I might have personally preferred 858 since that album got me thinking, as well as had me moving along with every beat, but 2Square was a ton of fun for as short a time as it lasted. Sure, would have been nice to have more, and there wasn't exactly a ton of surprises contained within, but I thoroughly enjoyed every second of it, and would certainly recommend checking it out if you're looking for a bite-sized little adventure into the world of rave music. I'm overall feeling an 8.3 out of 10. Favorite tracks: Better Have a Drink to Think, The Echoes, Do a Bong, All Out, and Underwater. Least favorite track, I don't really have one, but I guess if I had to pick, Single Function. But of course, this is just my opinion. You can feel free to disagree with it, but I would like to hear your thoughts, so leave the comments in the comment thing down there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all for today. See you next time.